What compelled Queen Camilla to retrieve from the deepest vaults of Buckingham Palace brooches that hadn't seen daylight for 100 years? You'll witness the scandalous story of how the most ancient jewels of the British crown suddenly came back to life on the new queen's chest. Brooches worth hundreds of thousands of pounds, belonging to Queens Alexandra, Mary, and the Queen Mother, pieces that even Elizabeth II never dared wear publicly. Coincidence? Or is this part of a carefully calculated strategy in the battle for influence within the royal family? Each public appearance of these treasures isn't just a fashion choice, it's a political statement. But why now? And what do the other heirs to the throne think about this? We reveal the intrigues that the palace desperately tries to hide. But who is Camilla, really a guardian of royal heritage, or a calculating usurper of others' treasures? According to a source close to palace circles, the new queen's actions raise serious questions among courtiers. Camilla approaches jewelry selection strategically, like a chess player. Every move, carefully calculated, reveals a knowledgeable insider on condition of anonymity. The facts speak for themselves. Neither the majestic Queen Elizabeth II, who ruled for 70 years, nor her mother, nor Princess Margaret ever dared to wear most of these historical brooches publicly. So why has a woman who became queen only after her mother-in-law's death suddenly gained access to the most hidden corners of the royal vaults? Buckingham Palace's silence on this matter speaks louder than any explanation. There's an unwritten rule. Certain family heirlooms belong exclusively to blood heirs of the crown, explains a former courtier who wished to remain unnamed. But Camilla seems unbothered by these traditions. Moreover, insiders claim her jewelry choices are deliberately demonstrative. Each appearance with a forgotten brooch serves as a statement of power. The palace's official position sounds noble. The queen is reviving historical traditions and giving new life to forgotten masterpieces. However, behind these words lies a deeper game, where every diamond becomes a weapon in the secret war for influence within the royal family. The most striking example of this hidden strategy was the appearance of Queen Alexandra's aquamarine brooch in March 2020. Was it coincidence that Camilla chose precisely this day for the debut of a treasure worth $250,000? The day when King Charles was forced to cancel all public events due to illness. This exquisite composition of two aquamarine hearts connected by a diamond chain didn't appear by chance at the Commonwealth Day service. Aquamarine is the traditional stone for 19th wedding anniversaries, notes a jewelry expert. But isn't it a strange coincidence that the queen decided to display a symbol of fidelity precisely when her husband was battling a serious illness? According to sources familiar with the situation, the choice of this particular brooch caused real upheaval among other royal family members. The ornament, presumably created by the House of Fabergé around 1904 for Queen Alexandra, had remained in the shadows for over a century. Even Queen Elizabeth II, who owned it for decades, never wore it publicly. This was a calculated move, claims an insider close to palace circles. Appearing in the king's absence wearing jewelry of such historical value became a silent but eloquent message to all who doubt her status. But who exactly was this signal intended for, and what price will the royal family pay for such displays of power? The reaction to these demonstrative gestures didn't take long. There's a tense atmosphere in the family, admits someone close to the royal circle. According to him, Camilla's actions caused serious displeasure among other family members, especially among princesses by blood. Some jewelry was traditionally considered the prerogative of princesses by birth, not by marriage. The source explains the silence of Princess Anne and Catherine, Princess of Wales, looks particularly telling. Both women, who have impeccable reputations regarding royal protocol, avoid any comments about Camilla's jewelry revolution. Is this accidental? According to insiders, their silence is a form of quiet protest against the violation of centuries-old traditions. There's an unspoken hierarchy in access to family jewels, explains a former courtier who wished to remain anonymous. He claims that many brooches Camilla now wears were for decades intended exclusively for princesses of royal blood. Previously, such ornaments could only be worn by an at most, future Queen Catherine. Insiders speak of soft resistance to the new queen's actions. Some courtiers hint that the absence of other princesses at events where Camilla displays historical brooches isn't coincidence, but a deliberate position. But while the palace maintains official silence, this hidden war unfolds in the shadows of royal receptions. However, the most striking example of political use of forgotten treasures was the Rothschild dynasty clock brooch. For 90 years, this unique relic remained in shadow. And then triumphant appearance on the 5th day of Royal Ascot races in June 2025. Was it coincidence that Camilla chose precisely this event where representatives of the world's financial elite gather? The brooch gifted to Queen Mary by Miss Alice Rothschild in 1893 as a wedding present carries deep symbolism. The connection to the legendary banking dynasty in these times of economic instability looks like a carefully planned message to international financial circles. Jewelry diplomacy is an ancient tradition of monarchs, explains a royal protocol expert. The brooch's unique construction makes it a true miracle of jewelry art. The upper part represents a 3-petal diamond bow with a central stone, from which an elegant short diamond chain gracefully descends to a floral pendant. In the heart of this pendant lies delicately disguised clockwork, a symbol of power over time that the Rothschilds always possessed. According to some observers, the appearance of precisely this brooch during King Charles's illness became a signal to financial elites about the British monarchy's stability. Camilla seemed to be saying, "We remember our allies and are ready for dialogue." But what secret negotiations might have stood behind this brilliant debut of a century-old relic? But the royal family's deepest secret hides behind a brooch that in her 1938 will Countess Strathmore called simply "my yellow diamond cross." For 142 years, this most ancient relic remained in shadow. So why was the oldest brooch in the royal collection so carefully hidden from prying eyes? The ornament's history begins in 1881, when the cross of yellow and white diamonds was gifted to Cecilia Nina Busleon, Countess of Strathmore and Kinghorn, in honor of her wedding. The future Queen Mother's mother treasured this gift so much that she bequeathed it to her daughter with a special note in her will. But why did neither Elizabeth Busleon nor her daughter Queen Elizabeth II ever wear this family heirloom publicly? In some old families, there are ornaments connected to tragic events or family dramas. Hints a source close to aristocratic circles. Perhaps behind 2 generations of royal family silence lies some painful history they preferred not to remember. No official explanations ever followed. And then triumphant return at Christmas service in Sandringham in December 2023. The moment's symbolism is striking. Camilla chose precisely Christmas, a time of forgiveness and rebirth, to bring the forgotten relic of the maternal line back to life, as if she deliberately healed some ancient family wound that we can only guess about. But the story of the Yellow Cross wasn't the only case of mysterious concealment of royal treasures. The Scottish thistle brooch disappeared from view for 60 years. After the Queen Mother wore it during the wartime 40s, what made them forget Scotland's national symbol? Political considerations or family grievances? Experts suggest the brooch might have originated from the famous collection of Mrs. Ronnie Greville, who died in 1942 and bequeathed her treasures to the royal family. But if the ornament truly had such noble origins, why hide it for several decades? Perhaps behind the brooch's disappearance lay more complex reasons connected to wartime politics. Even more mysterious is the story of Queen Mary's emerald sapphire flower. This exquisite ornament, resembling a blooming bud in eternal twilight, appeared on Queen Elizabeth II only once, in 1997 at the Royal Windsor Horse Show, and never again. 30 years of silence until the Easter resurrection in 2024 on Camilla's chest. The pattern becomes obvious. The most valuable brooches in the royal collection seem to be under some kind of taboo. Each disappearance lasted decades. Each return occurred at symbolically significant moments, and always only on Camilla. Is this coincidence or a deliberate strategy to rewrite royal history? But these 5 brooches are just the beginning of a much larger story. Anonymous sources close to the royal court hint that the jewels seen by the public are only the tip of the iceberg. According to their data, in the deepest vaults of Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle lie hundreds of unseen masterpieces, recorded in secret lists and inaccessible even to the most trusted courtiers. Experts estimate the total value of this hidden collection at several tens of millions of dollars. And this figure doesn't even account for the historical and symbolic value that cannot be measured in money. There are gifts from emperors, trophies from colonial campaigns, family relics of extinct European dynasties, claims someone who had access to archival documents, rumors about preparation for a grand revelation. A mysterious exhibition or even auction that could shake the entire jewelry world have been circulating in closed circles for years. Some insiders hint that Camilla is gradually preparing the public for the appearance of artifacts whose existence was previously considered legend. This is only the beginning, declared one source close to palace circles on condition of anonymity. These brooches are the key to an entire treasure trove of secrets that the palace isn't yet ready to reveal. But the queen's patience isn't infinite, and soon the world will see treasures they couldn't even dream of. Was it coincidence that led to the sudden revival of forgotten brooches? Or is Camilla conducting a carefully planned game to rewrite the history of royal heritage? The facts speak for themselves. Every appearance of historical jewelry occurs at symbolically significant moments. Every choice carries political subtext. Every gesture causes resonance in the royal family. The story is just beginning, and we all must carefully watch every turn. Observe the appearances of new antique brooches. Analyze the symbolism of moments, and build your own theories about what's happening. Perhaps you'll be the first to notice the next sensational debut of another forgotten relic. Which of these precious secrets captured your heart most? The aquamarine hearts with their romantic symbolism, the mysterious Rothschild clock with its political undertones, or the ancient yellow cross with its family secrets? Share your impressions in the comments. It's important for us to know your opinion about this amazing story. And be sure to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss the freshest investigations from the world of royal luxury, palace intrigues, and jewelry secrets that continue to captivate minds around the world.